In honor of Hunger Action Month, Feeding Northeast Florida is bringing awareness to hunger and the need in our community through several targeted initiatives, and you can even get involved. Susan King is the president and CEO of Feeding Northeast Florida, and she joins me now with the details. So welcome to First Coast Living.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Nice to see you in person.
Wonderful to be in person.
Well, let's talk about Hunger Action Month. What exactly is that?
So Hunger Action Month was an initiative started by Feeding America back in 2008 to really bring a national awareness to the problem of hunger all over the United States.
And so how would you say, let's bring it back home then, how would you say hunger affects us here on the First Coast?
So interestingly, we are seeing more people who are food insecure than we did even at the height of COVID.
Really?
It's the silent crisis that we talk about constantly, is that families who live paycheck to paycheck and who now are spending sometimes 60 to 80% of their take-home pay on housing and are paying increased food costs. And even though gas prices are coming down, it's still way above what it was a year ago.
Right.
It's just eating into paychecks. So people who have never needed food assistance before are now looking for charity food help.
And is that what you mean exactly by silent crisis? Explain that a little bit more.
Yes, so we are seeing, it's not a vocal kind of a crisis. What we saw during COVID, everybody saw those thousands of cars in line. It was on the news every night. I mean, it was really, people were so interested in how can I help, what can I do? But we all pretty much tired of that story, and we moved on to happier and more pleasant things. And unfortunately, the inflationary pressures in our economy right now have traumatized people's ability to be able to, pick themselves up.
And probably don't even want to ask for help anymore. But maybe they think, oh, they're not going to listen to me anymore. I keep asking for help, and maybe they don't want to take it seriously anymore. But it's more serious than ever, you're saying.
It's more serious. It's more serious than ever. And it's really a difficult situation in that there is a reduced food supply.
Right.
I mean, we still see shelves that are bare. We see that retailers are doing a much better job of managing their inventory to be able to feed their customers.
Right.
And so as an organization that relies on donated food, retail pickups, we've seen a decrease in food availability.
So what is Feeding Northeast Florida doing then to help?
So we are buying more food. We are really making a point of having distributions where they need to be in communities that really need assistance. We've shuffled that around. And during Hunger Action Month, we're going to be doing more than 70 distributions around the community. We are taking advantage of opportunities like this to speak to people about the issues that we are dealing with.
Get the word out that it's still an issue.
Get the word out. It absolutely is. That there is just no reason why anybody should be hungry in our community. And so the opportunity to talk about it is wonderful. We're going to be doing some other things during Hunger Action Month. We did last year, we started a light up program. So the Acosta Bridge and Daly's Place, and we're working with some other organizations. The Laura Street lights will be all turned orange in honor of Hunger Action Month to really bring awareness to this problem. Sometimes a visual is really what you need.
Well, sometimes we get so busy in our own daily lives, and if we have everything we need, even if we take it for granted, we might not think about the others every single day. But to have those little subliminal messages, maybe, or obvious messages, hey, I need help. As long as we kind of get those little cues here and there, we're more likely to help and be reminded that this is still an issue, and if not an even bigger issue than it was, like you were saying, before the pandemic. So how can we help?
So, we love for everybody to wear orange during, off and on during the month of September, because that's the color that represents hunger. We'd love for people to come in and volunteer. Our website is full of volunteer opportunities, and that kind of engagement is wonderful. This is a problem that requires a solution from everybody. Right. Also, donating is the single most important thing anybody can do. We can take $1 and produce 6 meals. We can buy food, access food at a much lower cost. But even community food drives that bring awareness to hunger, and just being an advocate for those who are facing hunger.
Okay, well, give us your website then if somebody wants to do a monetary donation.
Sure, feedingnefl.org. would be great.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad we were able to help get the word out, especially during Hunger Action Month.
Absolutely. Look for the orange lights and look for us around town. An important message that needs to be shared.
Yes. Thank you again, Susan. Nice
Thank
to see you in person. And if you'd like to see this segment again, just head to our website, and that's firstcoastliving.net.